Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Just Enough Heshy show. It's going to be an interesting show tonight because Sawyer is my beautiful co-host. Hi, Sawyer. How are you? She told me not to make fun of her hair tonight, and I'm not going to make fun of her hair tonight. Sawyer, your hair is beautiful. We also have a wonderful man, Stan Zier. He was the first guy to wave the flag after 9/11, right? Is that true? And he helps the Marines. He helps a lot of young special kids that you know for 30-something, 40-something years in the lower income districts, whatever. We'll talk about all of that, how you've done it, how you've helped him, how you've helped all those people. And Stan is going to talk a lot. He loves to talk a lot. I think he loves to talk more than me. How you doing, Stan?
Very good.
He came all the way from Pennsylvania. But Stan, I want to talk about you because I want to tell you what I heard about you. You founded a company. Founded many things. I mean, you've done so many good things. But you are also, I'm wearing your little button over here, which Donald Trump, I heard, wore. Am I correct?
Correct.
You got to talk into the mic. You can't shake your head, which is you're beautiful. You're handsome, not as good looking as me.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm better looking, right? Sawyer? Yeah. You got to tell everybody in the mic, am I better looking? No. Okay.
Nice talking to you.
Anyways, he founded an organization called Never Again Is Now. Okay, he writes for the Israeli national newspaper. You're a writer. He founded a company. You also worked with the Marines. You also help special youths in the tougher neighborhoods, in the low income or minority neighborhoods for many years, how you've helped them, and I'm so proud of you because I do that as well. And the most thing that I want everybody to hear is, we all have the Pledge of Allegiance that we say since we're little kids. My friend Stan here has a new version of it to install or to put in to incorporate the Constitution, because we're just stupid people. We don't understand how great this great country is, Anyway, Stan, I want you to tell us a little bit. I worked in some of those tough neighborhoods. Aren't you scared they were going to put your life in danger, kill you, rob you, hurt you?
Absolutely.
And what did you do for these kids? Tell me what you did.
Before I start, I want to thank 2 or 3 people. I've been taught you thank people when they do something to you, whether you like them or not. If they do something great for you, you're obligated. So I'm here because of Rudy Elizabeth Eagle. She put me here. So I'm obligated to thank her. Also for
Derek Gibson.
Gary Gibson.
Who's running for governor on the Republican Party.
I'm working with him. And also Tom Zimich, who's running for Queensborough president. And Mark Zabitsky, and he's running over there in Coney Island.
Now, you lived in New York for many years.
Yes, I did.
And you've seen the hell, the corruption, the crime that was going on in New York in the 1970s and 80s.
Absolutely.
And what do you say about it now?
Well, first of all, I'll tell you why I ended up working in Bed-Stuy and these places. I did it because I love America. This country, my father came here from out of the programs, and he ended up playing with Toscanini. He was an amazing man. And I saw what was going on. I didn't see anyone going in there and helping anyone. I felt, I played basketball. I was a regular Jew, an American guy. And as I got older, I decided to walk in myself and start to train kids to do things. I started bands, marching bands. I visited their parents. I took their kids down to Washington, D.C., took them to the Lincoln Memorial.
These are inner city kids.
Inner city kids right out of here in Brooklyn. And I faced people like Farrakhan, Sharpton, pimps. I was not afraid. I was not afraid because I have a conscience and I have to live by it. So what am I to be afraid of?
Well, men like you, this is what this great country is about. And tell us about when you waved the flag at 9/11. Tell us.
All right, so what happened was after 9/11, when the vets came home from Vietnam, I was out on Fifth Avenue and no one came to greet them.
Wow.
It was It's horrible.
Me and Ezra don't really know that we were born. We were born
after.
during that. No, we were born at that time. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, no, you were born much later,
I was born a little late.
in the 70s. But I was there. I mean, I saw. I was watching. I mean, I remember some as a kid. But no, I did not really.
Nothing,
I didn't.
70. I'm 76, so I'm standing there on Fifth Avenue. My friends coming up for Special Forces. Every block there was about 8 people. Can you imagine that?
Hello, you on the air with Heshi, Sawyer, Ezra, and Stan. Hello.
Hello,
Yes.
Rabbi Tisler.
Okay. Now, Rabbi, but go ahead.
This is Shia, your chassid, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the chesed that you do on this world. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should pay you back double and triple, quadruple.
Thank you so much. You know, my dear friend, and when I came to visit you, all you wanted was a hat, and that's what made you happy, and it made me happy that you let me sit with you because you joked with me. You're a good man. I hope you're feeling better. And you know what? It's not to thank me. Like Ezra, you should see this guy sitting next to me, this lawyer. He goes above and beyond his call of duty of his job. Everybody has a job. Look at Stan. Stan has a job. And Stan goes down to the inner city, goes to the kids, goes to Washington, cares about so many people. That's why I'm so proud of you, Stan, for coming to the show. Because I want to hear, did you bring this new Pledge of Allegiance that you made for us? You're going to tell it to us. Shia, thank you for your call. Thank you for thanking me. This de Blozo is gone. Crackamo, whatever, Cuomo thinks he's running again. We have good people running against him. We have Derek Gibson. We have Andrew Giuliani. We have a whole bunch of people that are going to be running against. Who is that other guy you told me that's running against him that you're going to be?
Well, it's Derek is running for governor.
Derek, but there's
Then
another one of the Democrats.
Zimmich is running. He's a Republican against Queensboro. He's
Oh,
up
Queen.
there.
One question to you. Bail reform. I need to understand your
My perspective. Look, bail reform was a good idea. It still is a good idea. I think it's just been so
Abused?
It's not abused. The progressives in Albany and in New York City took a great idea and just made it so unworkable. I don't think there's
Remember,
any-
you're a defense attorney.
I'm a defense attorney.
So this works for your benefit.
It works for my clients' benefits, but it also doesn't, because a revolving system is not going to help my clients, because eventually when you have people who unfortunately are recidivists, or they're going to get caught, they're going to get arrested more than once, and they're not having any constraints on their,
They're promoting
they're
more
They're
crimes.
promoting more crime, and the only thing that's going to end up is you're going to do a more serious crime for which you're going to do time for. And
Because if they
unfortunately-
could get away with
Right.
it, let's go big or go home. Let's do something bigger.
100%. It's not just that. You have to understand. I'm a defense attorney, but I'm also a human being. I also live in this city. I don't feel safe. I personally don't ride the trains anymore. I wouldn't let my family ride the trains anymore, and it's because, I know Heshi was, you were victimized about, right?
Yeah.
And
But-
nothing basically happens. Guy
Do
gets
you
out
know in
before you
San
do.
Francisco, I heard that shoplifting now is not a crime?
Well, they've closed so many Walmarts or Walgreens in San Francisco because it's not prosecuted. As I said,
What do you mean? You're not prosecuting somebody who commits a crime. That's it?
That's what they're doing. You have progressive district attorneys, a lot of them from the George Soros.
Why do we call them progressives? They're not progressives.
They're regressives.
No,
They're
we're not-
regressives.
Excuse me. They're none of that.
I agree with you.
I don't believe that.
I agree with you.
I'll tell you who I think they are. You're living in Mao Zedongville here.
Yeah, but that's your problem, Stan.
what's
No, I'm upset with you about that.
What's your-
You've been
I didn't finish.
around. No, but you've been around for so many years. You believe in your Constitution. You believe in
Yeah.
America. You believe in the vets. You fight for this country. You go help the poor. You go to the inner cities. And I don't understand. You allow your young, or you allow these people. We let them get elected. We let these.
I didn't allow
progressives-
anyone
you
to
let-
do it.
Okay.
Not me.
Okay. The point is, they
The fact is that the politicians the whole way through never understood the Constitution.
And what is the Constitution? Explain.
Constitution is a declaration of war on tyranny. That's all it is.
So when your governors shut down this country,
It was a declaration of war on tyranny.
and so when we fought back and we got arrested, they were allowed to do it.
You let them do it.
We let them do it.
Listen,
Heshi didn't let them do it.
I didn't let them.
Excuse me. In Pennsylvania, where they shut everything down and the businesses were going out, thousands of businesses were closed down. I went up to the steps of the capital of Pennsylvania. Actually, we were 2 Marines. And we said to the people in Pennsylvania, all you got to do is just open your businesses. There's nothing they can do to you if in mass you open up your businesses. 1 second.
That's what I told people.
I did not get one support from any of the leaders in that party. Nothing. So what happens? So we told them, if you don't shut it down now, you're going to be under communism soon, and they'll take it all away from you anyhow. And what came to pass? What's coming to pass? Joseph Biden, his Build Back Better is nothing than burn it down, shut it down, and redistribute the wealth. That's what you're watching here. And we still can't get it. And why don't we get it? We forgot. Obama. He was a stone communist. And Biden was his disciple. And when he came along, no one believed it. For 2 years, I've been watching the news. I've listened to everything. I want to know, how can communists impeach Trump if they declared war on the Constitution? He was impeached twice by communists.
But by the way, Mr. Legal Guy,
Yeah.
was that allowed?
Right now,
Okay,
why
so
don't-
let me be clear.
I know you don't discuss that law.
Unfortunately, many people who make these frivolous lawsuits don't have enough money that you're going to have a lawyer who's going to really jump at the case and try to take it, unless he's going to get paid by the hour, and it makes no sense for the plate. You know,
I'd like to
for the
make a
plaintiff.
point.
Again, your Constitution does not defend me.
Yes, of course it is. I'd like to make a point. Here's the point. You keep asking, how did they do this, and how did this come about, and where did they have this in the country? Where did they have this?
We let them.
No, it's not that we let them. We didn't even know our own civics. That's one point. But number two, Joseph Biden stood up in front of the United States of America and he said, I'm going to get rid of systemic racism as his platform. Really? I wrote an article in Israeli National News about that. Systemic racism believes that we, the Western civilization, white people and everything, took advantage of all people of color, and we stole from them. All the property, everything that you're sitting here, you're privileged because we didn't give them a chance.
Yeah, how the hell did
Wait,
we
I'm not
vote
done.
him in?
1 second, I'm not done. It's very, very important I finish it. So what happens to Heshi and you and me and everyone else? That immigration program, that's an invasion. Why? Because Pamela Harris and the rest of them believe we don't own this land. So, in order to get everything back to them, because they believe systemic racism is the reason we are prejudiced, we're an evil group, we took everything from everyone, they're going to give it back and redistribute it, and that's what you're finding. When you go into the cities and they come against Heshi or anyone, that's where they're coming against him because of who he is. That's why they're letting all the black people out, because get a free pass. You didn't do anything wrong. You're under that kind of system.
Look at this, Dan. You're upset. Ezra's upset. We're disappointed with the system. So all of a sudden,
I'm not disappointed. I'm
He's
at war with
saying
it.
that you got abused by the system. You didn't get a free pass.
I'm not talking about
because
me.
you're not oppressed.
No.
And you didn't steal a
Talking to the
Gucci
mic.
bag.
Talking to the mic, Zoe. You don't have to look at me, Sawyer, but I want you to know. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the people who commit the crimes. You heard what Ezra says. And people are getting away with it.
Sure.
And they're not even prosecuting because shoplifting is not needed to be
revolving
prosecuted.
door.
White privilege.
So here's my hit.
You have to understand something.
Is it a job or do you care about
the
it?
Constitution stopped the day President Trump decided to go down those stairs, go down
The escalator.
and run for president. That's when the Constitution really ended.
Excuse me? What do you mean stopped?
Well, that's when the equal application of the law and that the protections of the Constitution to everyone ended. Because
No, I don't believe that.
Well,
I'm sorry, I don't agree with you
Stanley,
at all.
I think that's the
I
reality.
think that's where it began.
Why do you say that?
Well, the reason I say is because until that, nobody, including, I mean, I'm not that young, but nobody was ever has ever been arrested for taking perks from an office. honestly, this is a tax case, which is usually
It's not even taxes.
it's a tax case which is usually dealt with the IRS or New York State's Department of Treasury, and you get a little fine for it. You pay it back, and everybody goes home happily. This started with Letitia James when she ran for state attorney general. She guaranteed an indictment against the president, as saying, "I'm going to find a way to get against the immunity that we have for a president, and we're going to get him." So Trump, is a victim of being Donald Trump. That's why I said the Constitution stopped, is because all the protections of the Constitution that you and I enjoy as a citizen, whether we're private citizens, whether we're public officials, whether we're the president of the United
I'm
States.
saying something different. It started to protect the Constitution with Trump.
Well, you start
Taking it back.
taking it back from us. Which I think
Absolutely.
we're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
But
How would you defend this guy?
This
right
case?
now? Yeah.
In your case specifically, since I know all about your case, more than we'll discuss it in about 4 weeks from now. But in your case and Mr. Trump's case, even in the impeachments that we mentioned, lawyers have taken the law and have made it into a tyranny, for lack of a better term. It's a tyranny. I mean, America has become a third world republic in the last.
Do you know when I was out in Coney Island, we held this rally with Flag Day and with Derek and everyone. There was a guy in the parking lot where I parked. He's Russian, and I put the Jewish star on him, and we talked. You know what he said to me? Geez, if I would have known like this, I would have gone back to Russia. It's better there.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, is correct.
I mean, look.
And by the way, they know. They were under it.
Right.
It's the problem we're having is, Dracula. Remember Dracula? When I was a kid, the story of Dracula was amazing. Someone's going to come, bite you on the neck, and you're gone. Guess what?
Or you get to live forever.
And you have a nice whatever. In any case, my wife at that time told me something I'll never forget. She said, Dracula is a story about evil, that people cannot believe evil really exists.
I know.
And what we're facing is that. We can't believe this kind of evil exists. This is like Dracula. It comes out of nowhere, and we won't admit what it is. But you cannot fight and win it unless you admit it. Wow. Then we can take them on. Until that time, we're going to be screaming bloody hell about every little thing, and it won't stop.
I'm going to keep fighting. Call into the show, everybody, 718-289-0070. Stan, I have a question for you.
I think we have a call.
Well, we're going to take a call. You drove here from Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Do you know how much the gas prices are right now?
Nuts.
I mean, man, I feel bad for you because I think you should push the car home because it's crazy. $4.03 regular, I see in some places. I mean, Stan, they're abusing us. They're taking us for. Did you get the vaccine, by the way?
Yeah, I certainly did.
Why? Everybody says it's fake.
I
took it too. Don't get me wrong.
Frankly speaking, I didn't care what anyone thought.
Right.
I'm 76 years old. Why take a chance?
Why take a chance? But but it won't kill you. We know that.
If it does, well, that's how it goes.
How long ago did you take it?
About 3 months ago.
Nothing wrong. All good for you.
My wife doesn't believe that.
My wife doesn't.
No, everything is pretty good.
Good,
yeah.
good. Here's a new thing, Stan. I want you to know this. There's a new virus coming out. Me and Ezra are going to have to deal with it. It's called the Delta virus. Why me and Ezra? Because they're going to arrest me again. Ezra, be ready.
It's a Delta virus? What's like Delta like in a flight?
No, it's actually came from India. I don't know why they call it
So
Delta.
this Delta virus is supposedly spreading all over California, spreading through 5 states, even though the COVID vaccine, thank you so much for your call, caller. I mean, but I want you to know, our numbers in New York City, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, all across our tri-state area is lower than 0.038 to 0.032. Now, they're pushing this new Delta virus because they're ready to come after us. And I was reading a report, Ezra, that the PCR tests were made to fail as you took the test. So My question to you is, and I proved it, Ezra. I did 2,000 testing. I showed those fake PCR tests. I did, Stan. We were in a red zone here in where you are right now in this neighborhood. We were in a red zone. I went out with the help of other people. Yes, the borough president said we could do it. And we did our own testing with the same people. And you know what? We went from red to yellow, showing that their fake the tests were fake. Then we took the same PCR tests and we got 300 positives.
Listen, we have a fake president. Everything is fake.
The bottom line is he's president.
Fake.
No matter what is, he's there. And again, his constitution, our constitution said that at the end of the day, even if the numbers are fake or resulted. So again, is cheating allowed, Stan? Is cheating?
Absolutely.
So again,
Of course.
So
because you're in a different system now.
So Ezra, now he just said cheating. Board of Elections.
In a communist country.
The board
You're
of,
in a communist country.
the Board of Elections, which certifies elections, admits, and I want to read this to you. They admitted in a press release. I want you to hear this. This is so interesting. They admitted in a press release that they made a mistake. They apologized. They apologized for their, where is it? I'm going to keep that one.
126,000 votes.
135,000 votes. They actually apologized for making a mistake, that some of their machines are good. But I understand, election after election, they keep making these same mistakes.
But no apologies before this.
Apologies don't do anything. Apologies, I mean...
Right? I mean, look who our quote-unquote president is
Apologies,
now.
apologies don't...
How do you
don't protect-
apologize for that? He didn't win.
Apologies like
the
that.
sanctity of my
Excuse
vote.
me, I just killed your mother, but I'm sorry.
You know that it's going through.
But
I'm also happy
hold on,
with the paper.
Ezra.
Excuse me.
But also, you have to scan in your
Right.
paper, and the scan doesn't work
But
sometimes.
that's fine. As, you know, if you have a paper record, instead of letting a computer which is full of error, you know, it's suspect to errors, it's suspect to hacking, it's suspect to anything.
It's
else.
binary, it's racist.
It's binary and racist. But I mean, you know, if you want voter confidence, let's do it the old-fashioned way. You know, things work. You know, they had elections in the 18th century. We had elections in the 19th century. They didn't have computers doing counting everything. There's something called manual counting with, you know, you have people who can monitor it, who are either unbiased, so at least you have both parties there. We have to,
Yeah, I don't know though, the education system with the critical race theory now, and now how they're reconfiguring mathematics.
I know.
2 and 2 is not 4 anymore.
Actually,
the way
2 and 2
he-
is 44 these days.
But you know, but you,
Right?
I have a question. We are being eaten up on every level here. Every tributary to this Constitution is being clogged up. The lifelines of liberty are being cut throughout the whole world by these people. That's what we're facing. And the voices are yelling and screaming from the public, 1 second, and it doesn't stop on Facebook. It's just maddening. And people call me up. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And you know what my answer finally became? That's why I did this. The answer is, we do what we got to do. We got to first face what this thing is. Now, when George Washington went out there to fight, he didn't say, gee whiz, man, I don't think I can beat this thing. And if some guy came up to him like Dr. Fucci and said, excuse me, troops got to take a break here. Can't go across the Delaware tonight. What do you think would have happened to him? So I think we need something that we're so confident we can start to move knowing we're going to win. And we don't have it.
well, the show is coming to an end. I want you to read your new Pledge of Allegiance.
All right.
I want you to read. I want you to hear this, and I want you guys to listen to what America is. And here it is. Go ahead.
So before I do this, I must tell you how it came about.
You got to go quick.
All right. I was walking in the street, you know, for a guy running for office, and a kid came up to me and he said, what was the intent of the founders? He asked me that question. I said, tyranny. The next question I want to know is, where does tyranny arise from? Who makes these lunatics, these fascists? And the answer comes right from the Bible. People who declare war on God, all their domains, Russia, everyone, they deny your God-given rights. And what's the one thing the Constitution does? It's the declaration of war on tyranny to protect our God-given rights. So that Constitution is directly connected to the law of God.
I agree.
God created...
Do you want me to read it? Because we have less than
I'm
30
going to read
seconds.
it. But it's important you know that. So Here's the new Pledge of Allegiance. First, it says, George Washington, the Constitution is a guideline I will never abandon, neither must we. Establishing the final version to our Pledge of Allegiance, guaranteeing our triumph over tyranny, preserving liberty's blessings for every generation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to its Constitution upon which our free republic stands, one nation, indivisible, freed from tyranny, with liberty and justice for all. We need the Constitution there. It ensures us one nation under God, free from tyranny.
We're
Good
gonna-
night, everybody.
Not yet. I want one more
It's
question.
10 o'clock.
I got you. Is there justice for all, Ezra?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
You'll get it.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to my show.